Hey Adam, what's up, man? Kind of want to short this, but I really want to short at 25,000. The question is, do I want to start an entry position around 24980? And I think I do. Let me go to what accounts I have. Like anywhere near the top of this, around here is where I want to short. For a quick scalp, about 20 points. Let's see, I have a bunch of Lucid accounts I can play with. If it pops up anymore, I think I want to short this. I am worried that the rebound from the New York session is going to continue onto this overnight session. But if I do want to place a short, it's definitely going to be around 25,000. 25,000 NQ, 6,900 ES, and 6,910. So let's see if I already missed this. Uh, LA, Washington, what's up, man? Or Wellington. What about waiting for it to reach the first green candle of the 5 consecutive green candles? Which do you mean this one right here? 25081? 1, 2, 3, 4. This area will coincide with like 6,910 ES, which is like right here. So that's another one of my entries that I'm looking for. I have a couple entries. No most recent one. Oh, are you on the 1 minute? What time frames? I don't see 5 consecutive green candles. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4? Let me know what time frame you're looking at, or 2, 3, 4, 5. These ones. I would look for a short like right here. This is my first entry, like at this tip. 24979 is like my first entry. Is what I'm looking at. I don't love this push up. It makes me want to wait until 25,000. I kind of want to wait for this candle to close. Like the way I wanted to short was if this popped up immediately to here, okay, then I would short it. But this drop for like, how many points was that? This was a 20-point drop, and it picked it back up within 5 minutes. I don't like to see that. So that makes me want to wait. it's not the worst idea to enter a small short here, but I would want to risk it on an account that I don't care about. Let's see, what account do I not care about? 24988. That's not bad for a first entry. I could think about that too. I'm gonna wait for this candle to close. Usually my first entry is like 5 micros, but this price action makes me want to start with 3 micros. Let me see what accounts I can trade with. Okay, what account do I not care about? Maybe some fun and X accounts. Let's see. If we get a decent pop, I might consider the scalp short. But I really like my ideal entry is right here, 25k. That's my ideal entry. Like I would love for it to pop up here right now, but we'll see. This pop-up was definitely worth 3 micros, but I don't know about 5 micros. I don't know if I want to chase it. Can we take a look at NASDAQ? This is NASDAQ right here. You want to see the daily? Or the hourly? Let me know what time frame you want to look at. But this is the NASDAQ right here. Even though we had the whole Iran war news, like I'm not super bearish. All the other war news that we had months and months ago, you'll notice there's like a huge, like I wouldn't say huge, but it's a decent sized drop. And then immediately the market just goes back up. Like the market does not really care about the wars that much. I haven't seen one where I think the past 2 times this, you know, missile blah 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 has happened where it involves the US, like we bounced back literally the next day. Like it did not care at all. And I kind of think that's what might happen, which is why I'm a bit worried about taking shorts. Because what if the market decides to just keep pushing up and 25k is the low? 5 minutes time frame? Yeah, that was what I was originally on. This is usually what I have the time frame set to, 5 minutes. I don't look at ES that much. I do look at it a little bit. There's some levels that I'm looking for on the ES, like my first entry is here 25k. The next entry is 6900. And then the next entry is 6910. And then after that, I don't have anything else. So this is what we're looking at. So small bear trend right here. If I do want to pick a quick scalp, it'll be on the short side. Now a longer hold, I don't know. It's 8165. I might have already missed my 20 points right here, which sucks. But this candle was kind of, I don't know. This candle was really weird. I didn't like it. What's up, Trevino? How do you think the attacks will affect the market? I don't think it'll affect the market much at all. If you go back to the past 2 times that we fired missiles at somebody, like we had a I forget what it was, but the market immediately dipped on the news, but within the next day, literally it was like nothing happened. And you can see that's sort of how it went last night, right? Okay, missile news, right? We dropped like what, 1%, and then we had a sell-off, right? Some people might think this is like panic selling, right? But then when market opened, look at where we ended up, right? Does this look like a market that's afraid of what happened in Iran? Did it close the gap? I think it did, yeah. Closed the gap and went above even more. So I don't think it's going to affect anything at all. What I am worried about is that it does so little that the market just keeps rallying higher and higher. That's what I'm worried about. Right now the market's back on track to go higher, which means for longer term plays, I'm kind of afraid of shorts. Which is why initially my first entry is right here, but I didn't end up shorting it just because I'm worried we're just going to keep going higher and higher and higher. But for my overnight scalping, I just recognize a trend, right? This is obviously short term. This is a bear trend, right? So I'm looking for shorts on a pullback. This was a good pullback. I just got a little like shy on the trigger. It tapped the 20 SMA. I don't think I have the 20 SMAs or any SMAs on my screen anymore. You're in a small short. Where would you look for TP if there is one? Well, when I scalp, so my overnights are almost all scalps. When I scalp, I usually just do 20 points. And I probably would have already got my 20 points here. Excuse me. 79. Yeah, I would have already got my 20 points right here. That sucks, but whatever. The other ones had a specific target. This one has a 4-week time frame for attacking Iran. So who knows if that time frame holds. I feel like every single time that we've attacked some place or something's happened, there's always some kind of treaty that comes out of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if during one of these middle of the nights, right, these overnight sessions, there's just a huge candle caused by some news, like new Iran treaty, blah blah blah, right? Trump likes to do that a lot. Now I'm not familiar too much with what's going on. I don't know who fired the first missiles or what is going on. I don't know if the other countries want a world war. Doesn't seem very smart. Maybe I should have taken it just for the stream, because the overnight gets really boring. Now I wasn't I was a bit afraid, but I still wanted to take it. Like I said, this was worth 3 micros when usually I take 5 micros to scalp the short. I recognize that it's still like an okay scalp short, but I didn't have to size very heavy. But I didn't, so missed it. That's okay. So now I have literally, I'm not going to play anything else. When I do overnights and I see a trend, I just follow it. Now I'm waiting for another pullback up, like 20-ish minutes of just buying, and this was it right here. This was the 20-ish minutes of buying right here. And if I'm on a bearish trend, I want to short anywhere around this area. But I missed it. Oh well. It's because the market has been using Taco. Yeah, ever since Trump got into office, it's just kind of like, you know, you show your muscle, right? Oh, we're gonna tariff you guys. We're gonna give you guys tariffs. Oh, we're gonna strike first, or we're gonna strike you know, we're gonna send our missiles, blah blah blah. And then there's a treaty, and then the market just goes back up. But right now the market, if you guys have been watching, it's been very weird. I'm actually very worried about this market. I usually am like a bull, so a lot of my older viewers know that I'm almost always on the long term buying, just because the stock market always goes up. But it just doesn't feel good. This stock market does not feel good right now. Why do you have the MES open on the side? I do trade some levels on the MES, so I want to look at it. So like earlier in the stream I said, okay, if we reach back up to 6900, that's worth a short, and 6910 is also worth a short for me. That's where I would look for my second entries. So my first entry was 25,000. This is like what I said was my best entry short here if I wanted to short. And then so first entry, technically 0.5. This should have been the first entry. First entry, second entry, third entry, fourth entry, and then no more shorts after that. See my short? I'm not sure where your short is. TP at 2488, then I go long. What do you think? 2488? What do you mean by 88? 24988? No. 24888 right here. That's a big fall, but I mean, maybe. I mean, you can just look at this overnight session and you want to be short. That's why right when this happened, I wasn't scared that we were gonna, well, I was a little bit worried, but I wasn't scared until this candle that we were just gonna shoot up. Right? I said, okay, I want to take a short somewhere here. Now, I don't know how far we'll fall. If we do fall, I would consider like maybe buying. Like, man, I don't know. Like maybe 24850-ish, like this little consolidation right here. Maybe somewhere in this candle, this one big candle. I'm not sure. I know for sure I would enter 24700. I would enter right here. 24700 is my long entry, and 24700, 600, 500. I will definitely be taking those. But that's probably not going to happen. Let me look at how far that has to travel. Still going up a tad up before it falls. Maybe. We'll see. What's your tape saying? Can you see how many orders are stationed for buys below 24,000? Let me go to my Webull app. My app has orders in it, but I don't think I can reach down to 24900 yet. It has to be like, I think, within 10 points. But usually when it gets closer, you can see that there's usually in the hundreds for NQ. More about the ES. For the hundreds in the ES, you can see that there's usually a big block of orders right around the hundreds mark. About to close 24991 or 24991. 891, you mean? Oh, dude, I want to buy this so bad. But it's not a good area to buy. It needs to dip like a lot more. But it's overnight. So let me just think about my scalps. My scalps are just, if we get a pullback, then just short. Sometimes I'll play both the long and short, but only if it's flat. So you can see that right around here, it's not a flat market. A flat market, it would be like if we go back up right here and we move nowhere. Then I could play pullbacks on either side, which means if we drop, well, then I can buy it. If we rally, then I can sell it. But right now, it's like it's only shorts right now. It's not worth it to chase back in here because when you're scalping, every point matters, right? Like if you miss an entry by 2 points, you're already down 10% because you're going for 20 points, right? So now you need to do now your take profit is at 110% rather than a usual just regular 10%. Or I mean 100%. So when you're scalping, your entry matters a lot. Which is why you'll see me enter longs on a red candle and short on a green candle. My volume profile sees a bunch of buys around 24901. Want to take a buy entry with me? 901. I don't think I'll buy around there. It's not a horrible buy. It's a decent dip if you're thinking about a bull market and you're not worried that we're going to sell off again. Now that the news has calmed down. Let me see if there's any news tomorrow, actually. Hold up. March 2nd. Okay, so there's no news tomorrow. So if I were to have the thesis, right, that, okay, we digested the missile news. We digested all the war news and like and all of that, and I believe that it's not going to cause that much of a sell-off and the sell-off is already over, then any decent dip like to 900 is a decent buy. Put a pending order on it. Well, then I wouldn't be like, that's just a random buy. You know what I mean? Nothing that I've tested before. I've tested my scalps before, which is why, you know, I'm waiting for a pullback to short. I haven't tested that buy. If I were to buy around there, it would just be the idea that, you know, there is such things that I believe are called psychological levels, which you guys will see at every hundred and thousands, right? Whenever there's a big level like 25,000, you'll see that there's a lot of it's a very important area, and I think I played it a couple of times here, like 25,000. You can see it's kind of an important area right here. Go up, bounce, bounce, bounce. Okay, down. Okay, bounce, 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 right? But I like 25,000. The hundreds are a lot less strong, unless you're talking about ES. What I can do is that if I do start seeing maybe I don't know. I'm kind of worried. Let me hold up. Let me see what VIX is doing. Like VIX is really high, VVIX is really high. So if we do start selling off with 1-2 big candles, it can get really ugly. And by really ugly, I mean you can see the market where, like, you know, I'm sure you guys have experienced the market where it feels like it's literally just slipping. Like nothing is stopping, it's just slipping with volumes going higher and higher and higher. That's what I'm worried about. What's up, Scan? 5 points, my first proposed entry. I'm just like, I'm just a permanent bull to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, I want to buy this right here. And sometimes that's not a good idea for me. But I really don't mind this buy right here. Like, I really don't. Maybe one more red. Man, that 900 just looks. If we get like a big candle that's 900, I might even consider it. I'm considering buying right here. Tell you what, if we stall here and we don't break above this candle on the next candle, maybe if we on this candle, if we end up somewhere here, the next candle we tap this low again, maybe I'll enter a starting position. Starting scalp for 20 points. There's a lot of buying volume below 24900. Oh, oops. But don't worry, don't enter if you're not comfortable with it. Just watch. 4-7 entry. I do like volume. I think volume based strategies are very good. A lot of my longer time frame levels are volume based levels, like my monthly levels. That's a rejection. Well, if we don't make a new low right now and we just kind of hover here, and on the next candle we get a little bit near this top and then come down here, I might buy here. But if this candle breaks below, I'm not going to buy it. Excuse me. I wanted to take a breather right here. I actually wanted to keep going higher on this candle, higher here, and then pull back down here and then scalp along right there. Volume showed divergence against price 2 candles back to the downside. Let's see how far we'll dip. For markets like these, it's kind of scary because with VIX so high, like these candles are gonna be pretty large. Even if it's overnight. Like sometimes overnight I would have to wait like an hour to get my 20 points. But like in this one entry here, it's like 5 minutes and you get your 20 points. Bigger candle, smaller volume. Yeah, this is a pretty decent sized candle for like not that much volume right now. I'll probably end up watching this for a long time because all I'm thinking about is just, okay, pull back, okay, pull back and then short, pull back and then short. This previous day was not it. My trading, I wasn't very happy with the way that I traded. This day I tried, so usually when I enter positions I do 5 micros, but today I've been doing, or the New York session I was doing a 10 micro starting. And you'll see the numbers are like really big. 3,000, 1,500, 2,000, 1,000, 2,000, 2,000. I think a couple of these got higher by the end of the day, but you'll see some huge numbers. I don't like it. No, I've been trading like shit too. This wasn't, I don't even know what I was doing. Honestly, I was just, maybe I was tilted because I was like, oh, we're not going to sell off that much. And I was long like here. Like all throughout here I was long, and some of my accounts blew up literally right here. This is where they blew up, and then you see this. I was pretty tilted. Then I sized up. Sizing up is not, 10 mini is too uncomfortable, or 10 micros is too uncomfortable for me. 5 micros is where I should be at. Yeah, no, I mean it happens, and then I got like, I was just tilted and I was like, dude, whatever, fuck it. I'm just gonna keep playing with 10 micros. and I did have a long here, which is gonna pay out like a 7k for TPT. But this, I was trying something that it's a very, very aggressive strategy, like very aggressive, and I don't think I'm gonna do it anymore. But it was like so for TPT and Apex, right? For the intraday trailing drawdowns. So when you first start an account, you'll get about 2k drawdown, right, of intraday, and this is the best, one of the best times for your account. Why? Because you have the most drawdown, right? So what I was doing was I was playing it with minis, and what I did was I was waiting for price to fall down, and I had orders, one mini, one mini, one mini. And this is like a really, really aggressive strategy, but it's basically betting that, all right, in a time of really high volatility, right, we'll wait for it to fall, tap me in, and if there's a pop-up, well, then I'm in with 3 minis right here without taking the initial heat if I just jumped in here. And it's very, very aggressive. But on a big pop-up, when it's really volatile, you'll break out of your 2k drawdown really fast, like really, really fast. And then if it keeps going higher, which it did today, you know, I closed out at like 9.5. But this was way too stressful. And it's a very, very aggressive strategy. This is a strategy you use for intraday trailing drawdown. It was basically something that I thought about. Intraday trailing drawdown makes you think about what's the best way for me to use my drawdown, right? And the best way is that if you're in a long, right, as it dips, right, you start losing drawdown. But as it dips, you buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. So when it does bounce, right, you'll reach your max, your original drawdown so much faster. And if you can ride one wave up, you can get past that buffer really fast. Forget that, rather do end of day trailing. Yeah, but I like to spread, like, so like I'm a guy that trades a lot of prop accounts, so I trade with like 7 companies, all like reputable companies. Take Profit Trader is one where, you know, they've literally paid out like $1 million payout. So and I do like their daily payouts. So I also prefer end of day trailing. Intraday trailing drawdown is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Like, it's literally so stupid. The only way that it works for you is if you're a scalper. TPT, Take Profit Trader. That's the prop firm that's like the golden standard for intraday trailing drawdown with daily payouts. Yeah, it's just a dumb rule. But I mean, like, every single prop firm is gonna have dumb rules. Yeah, they're one of the biggest, like one of the gold standards, right? You know how like My Funded Futures and Top Step are like the gold standard for end of day trailing drawdown. Lucid is also kind of the golden standard. Lucid is now the new golden standard. Lucid is one of the best firms right now. So that's why I've been pushing higher, or pushing harder on my Lucid accounts, because I'm pretty sure they're going to increase the prices soon. So I've been like, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to size up. But when I sized up, I started trading like shit. It was not good. Like, it was a fun experiment. Actually, it wasn't very fun because like I was tilted, but it was a good experiment to figure out at what contract size am I comfortable with. 5 is good. 5, I'm not sweating, you know, I'm not stressed out. 10, I'm a bit stressed out. What account size are you running? I always run the 50Ks. 50Ks usually give you the best price to draw down to profit target ratio. And you'll basically see it all throughout. 50K is usually the best in terms of, the actual price to draw down to profit target. And then 100K is a bit worse, and 150K is also a bit worse. You can just look at like any firm and just compare them. Right, usually for the 150Ks and 100Ks, you either have to double or triple your drawdown. Like 3K drawdown for 6K, 4.5K drawdown for 9K, right? But for a 50K account, it's 2K drawdown for a 3K profit target. So 1 to 1.5 versus 1 to 2, which makes it a lot easier, like rule wise. And I mean, honestly, you can make a living with 50K accounts. Seems 50K are the norm lately. I think 50K is like, I mean, if you just think about it from a math perspective, it's the best one. Websites claim 100K is their popular one. I just can't get behind it. Like, for example, let me go to Top Step. Looks like I might drop a few more points. Yeah, the trend right now is bearish, right? There's no need to fight the trend right now, unless we reach some area of, an area that you think is worth it to buy into, that you think it's so worth it to buy into that you think it'll pop or cause a slight reversal from the trend, right? But let me look at the Top Step. Are you planning to do lives on Discord or just YouTube? Just YouTube. You guys can find me right here. I mean, there's no point in doing it on Discord. Yeah, see? So which one do you want to do if you were trading it? Do you want... So this is your drawdown. And this is your profit target to pass the account. So for a 50K account, it's 2,000, right? To 3,000, which is 1 to 1.5. And then for a 100K account, it is 3,000 or 6,000. And then 4,500 or 9,000. Right. So for these ones, you have to basically double. While this one is just, you have to plus 150%. This is 200%. So mathematically speaking, this one is usually the cheapest and, just easier. And with all the rules and stuff, like, I just go for the easier stuff. There's no need to spend more money and just make it harder for yourself. If I'm trading futures, I'd say 50K. If I'm trading Bitcoin, I'll consider more than 50K. Like Bitcoin futures? I've never tried trading Bitcoin. You never traded a prop account. I'm experiencing some serious FOMO right now. Oh, that's interesting. Do you trade Con? Do you trade a personal brokerage account? BTC USD? Gotcha. I just can't. The way that I trade, like, I'm I'm a prop trader. I know how to play props. And if you guys are on my Discord, you'll see my P&L that I post every single day. You'll know that I'm not the greatest trader, but you'll also see that I'm always taking out money from props. Props are good, but right now it's like, I think if you are joining now, you may have missed the golden era of props, which is roughly about 1 year ago. That was the golden era. Everything was so cheap. The rules were a lot easier. Now places are cracking down on like all the prices and everything. Personal accounts always, where I come from, we do things differently, I guess. Well, personal accounts, I mean, that probably means you're a good trader, right? I'm not a good trader. I'm an average trader, but you know, I know how to play the prop firm game. The goal is to always make it into a personal account though, but I can't trust myself with a personal account. How many account resets do you average per week with all those accounts? I don't know. But I'll tell you, if you guys go to this. So one of my viewers actually said, like, you know, it's cool that you post all your payouts, but can we see how much is your net gain, like your expenses versus your profits? So I made this for him. And basically, this hasn't been updated for like a month, but you can see. Now, these could also just be made up. I could be lying to you, but you guys know how transparent I am. Like, if you guys have seen my P&Ls and payouts, like, I don't care. I show all my balances. I show all the number of accounts. Like, I generally don't care. But for this, to get this amount, like 90K, this was like last month, the total expenses was about 12K. And I think, I don't know how high it is now. But I started from $500 a month, like a year or two ago, and I scaled my way up to the point where everything that I spend is all house money. I'm not trading with my own money anymore. All I trade is with payout money. So I don't know how much resets per week, but in a given month, I can spend like 5 to 10K easy. I try to put it in percents because dollar turns me into a money chaser. Psych handles percentages. See, the same thing happens to me when like when I trade heavy sizes like 10 micros, I'm like, oh, I want to see a bigger number. I want to see a bigger number. Like how big of a number can I get? But when I trade 5 micros, I'm like, oh, 40 points is really good. Let me just take 40 points. Okay, 20 points is also good. Let me take 20 points. So when I trade a bigger size, I'm like trying to chase that huge number, and then it really fucks with my head. And it makes me trade like 10 times worse. And I literally experienced that on yesterday. Personalized budget on our trading restrictions we put on ourselves, while props keeps us accountable. I just like props because I can take money while not risking too much of my own capital. Trading is not rocket science. Anyone can read an order book and execute accordingly. Yes. Trading is simple but not easy, right? Because there's so much, like, you know, you have the strategy, right? But then you also have the whole other like 60-70% of it, which is like psychology, risk management, all of that stuff. Thanks for the transparency. Yeah, of course. Trading is easy, proper, and with all sorts of complicated rules to make the whole practice unnecessarily impossible. It's my take on the issue. Oh, I 100% agree with you. Which is why when you trade props, you don't have to be a great trader to trade props. Me myself, I'm not a good trader. You can go on my P&Ls. I recently started this P&L again, this P&L. But if you go back for the first 2 months of my 100k challenge, which is what I set myself for this year, you'll see that I'm like an okay trader. I'm not a great trader, right? You'll see, okay, I have some base hit days, but then you'll see some days where, what is it? Let's see if I can find it. Like minus 8k right there. Where's the big one? Like minus 30ks? Where is it? When did I start crashing out? Oh, minus 73k right here. Right? I have like one minus 73k and I have a couple of minus 30k days. Right? A good trader wouldn't be risking all of that. So I'm not a good trader. I'm an average trader, but my whole gimmick is that, yeah, I'm not a great trader, but just keep an eye on my payouts. I can always take payouts. Becoming a good trader is hard. Discipline, yeah, it takes a lot of discipline. I'm still working on that. I'm still working on a lot of different stuff. I'm always trying to find out new models, but all my models are made for prop firms. I don't have a model that's like, oh, I would use this model on a brokerage account. I tend to trade it like a 1-to-1 to a negative, a 1-to-1 to an extremely negative RR, which it's not, you can't survive that on a brokerage account. Like I took that 73k day to the chin and I wasn't even like depressed or sad. I was just annoyed. I was like, whatever. I think I remember that day. I think it was like a 2% day. According to my data, it was a day that happens 2% of the time. So it's like, whatever, it happens 2%. Okay, whatever. But you know, as a trader, you have to be prepared for those 2% days. Whereas on prop firms, you don't have to care as much. Like if you can win a majority of the days, and even if you break even, you can make money out of it. Break even traders or slightly positive or slightly negative traders can take money out of prop firms. They can take a lot of money out of prop firms. Let's see if we get a pull back here. I'm still thinking shorts. That's the basic idea for today, but it would have to be like a rally back up to like here, or at least like here in the next, what, 7:47, in like the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Big strong candles just to here, somewhere around here. For TBC accounts, do you set max loss limits so you don't blow the account due to intraday trailing drawdown? So for my intraday trailing accounts, I've told everybody that I typically don't like showing them. And the reason why is because for my intraday accounts, I basically full port them. And the reason why I full port them, there's two ways to be intraday accounts. The first way is a slow and steady way, right? You take your base hits of, I don't even know how much you want to take your base hits, like 200, 300 bucks, right? But the thing about intraday trailing is that every single day that you trade, one loss will put you all the way back to step one. One loss. You could have made 3 winning trades in a row, right? And then one loss can wipe out 2 of them or more, depending on how the drawdown works, right? It takes the drawdown from right here and then to your exit. So every single trade that you're in intraday trailing is actually worse to be in. Okay, so there's 2 ways to beat it. You take base hits and you get really lucky. You get 4 or 5 days of just perfect trades, right? Always hitting your take profit. But you could take 3 days, lose 1 day, and you're close to blowing up. Because if you size too high in the beginning, one loss will basically wipe out your entire account. So what I do is I full port it on a plus setup to get out of intraday trailing drawdown, and then I can trade it normally. So my full port is like 2 minis. 2 to 3 minis is my full port. Even though they allow us 6, but I use 2 to 3. Thoughts on getting a 25k pro eval on Lucid as a first time? For Lucid, I use the flex accounts. I don't know anything about the pro accounts. The 25k accounts usually have better rules, but they're more expensive. Also, Ace, for trading, you really can't be scared of blowing your account. When you start trading scared, you'll see how it affects you. You'll start trading 100 times worse. I guarantee it. You'll start letting your losers run, and you'll start cutting your winners short. So when I trade, I don't care if I blow up my account. And you can see it through my P&L. I don't care. And then when it does blow up, you can be tilted or a bit annoyed, but don't crash out over it. Like, I had a minus 73k day and I didn't crash out. I was just annoyed. I was like, seriously? And then I woke up the next day and I was like, all right, whatever. That's because the biggest thing I teach is that you have to budget accordingly. Right? I lost all those accounts. Okay, but can I still pay my bills this month? Yeah, of course, because I have a full-time job, right? Can I still put food on the table? Yeah, of course. You go on Reddit, right? Go on any of the trading firms, any of the trading subreddits, and then you just go on, just look at the subreddits, and you'll see, oh, I lost everything. Oh, I'm in debt now because I can't trade. Oh, I need to get a payout. That's the worst way to trade. So if you guys are from Reddit, you'll see all of my posts. I talk about one thing. I always say budget, and everyone's like, oh, give me your strategy, bro. You know, what's your strategy, bro? Like, they're not, even if I give you a strategy, it's not gonna make you, that's not the flip. You're not gonna make it just because I give you a strategy. There's so much more to it. But everyone's too hyper focused on, I need a perfect strategy. You can't be emotional about what happens on the chart. That's how you blow up. Yeah, exactly. But candles don't care about what you think. The market doesn't care about what you think. Even less for us, because we're all on sim accounts. We're all paper trading. And prop firms, nothing is live. Unless they give you a live account for reaching whatever X payouts or I don't trade BTC, Adam. That's been my experience with also TBT. Just wondering if I had a right idea. There is no right or wrong ideas, right? If you're a great trader and you just know you can get those base hits, yeah, perfect. For me, I just know that because I've done this before with my Apex accounts. On this day, actually, on this day where I lost them. Which one? This one. I built these accounts up. It took me like 5 or 6 days to build these accounts up to, like, they were so close to getting out of drawdown, and then I lost them, and it was so annoying. I was actually more annoyed about this than I was about the minus 73k day, because the first 73k day that I showed you guys, I traded them very heavily, like 3 minis each. But these ones, I took base hits every single day. And then on that last day became, I think it was like a 2% day or something. And I lost these accounts. And I was so frustrated. Now, I didn't crash out. Or you can see my other accounts, I didn't crash out. But I was just very annoyed. There's a difference between very annoyed and crashing out. Out of curiosity, ICT based or not? I'm not ICT based. I know some people that trade ICT. I know some people can make money with ICT, but you'll also notice that there's a ton of people that don't make money with ICT. So it's not really about the strategy, it's about the trader. It doesn't look like there's going to be much movement from this point. The Asian markets are always sluggish during this time. We might see something maybe when Frankfurt and London opens. Yeah, during the first hour is when you'll see the movement. That's usually where the first hour or two is where I get my overall trend. Thanks, I appreciate it. I need to get started and the fear will go away. The fear won't ever go away if you're not already in a position in life to spend money and throw it away. It'll actually never go away. So in order for the fear to go away, you need to be able to pay your bills, you need to be able to put food on the table, you need to be able to trade with money you don't care about. And you'll see this phenomenon on the internet all the time. Have you guys seen on Reddit or whatever where it's like, why do I trade so well on my practice account? It's not even real money. It doesn't make any sense. Well, it's because you're not scared of losing anything, right? But on a real evaluation account, a real funded account, you're scared to lose, so you'll cut your winners short and you'll let your losers run. The fear won't ever go away unless it's money you genuinely do not care about. I'll lose all my accounts and I'll just be annoyed. I'm not gonna be afraid. Something about strategy, because without one you're just guessing like me. I have some strategy, I have some models that I trade. I do keep it mostly private though, but on Discord you'll see me talk about some stuff like today, right? I do something where, so I do data analysis for the past 4 years of NQ, right? What did I say right here? Today was a 5% day. Average expected close is 25,013, right? So if we were to trade based off of my average expected close, or you can trade based off of it. Now this average expected close is for my data analysis for 4 years, and it's for the close at 5 p.m. So it's not the most useful thing, but it's really good for MOC plays and stuff like that. And you'll see, where do we close at 5 p.m? What was the close? 2497750, right? That's pretty damn close to 25013, right? So if you had a thesis at 3 p.m, 2 p.m. saying the average expected close is 25013, then you just play for it. Oh, we're really extended from the average. Okay, let's head towards the average, right? And if you lose, well then wouldn't you rather go towards the average versus shooting for the stars, right? Let the math play out. You'll see me post a lot about this average expected close. I'm pretty sure I've had another one. Whenever I have the time, or if I'm not in a trade, I'll talk about it. Right here. Average expected close on my end is 24950 for 227. 227. What did I say the average? 24950. What was the close? 24952. Pretty good, right? Not perfect because it's 5 p.m. and only a couple firms allow you to carry all the way to 5 p.m. But all the volatility is during MOC. So if you want to play MOC and you expect us to close around here, right? And it's overextended, and then you just take the short. And then you close out near the expected. Could have done it once, could have done it twice. For me, trading has been so stressful, mainly because, like I said, I'm trying to get out of the place I'm in. I can pay my bills, I just want to go somewhere else. It seems like my best shot. I'm gonna tell, like, I'm not here to sell you a dream, okay? And that's what a lot of people do, they sell you a dream. Okay, what I say is that on average, this is how you determine if trading is for you. On average, you ask somebody, okay, how long does it take to become profitable? yada yada yada. A lot of people say it's between like anywhere from 2 to 5+ years. Becoming profitable. Okay, so that is 24 months to what, 60 months? This is how long you're gonna lose money. If you lose, so this is why I tell you to budget. Can you lose an X amount of money, like let's say $500 a month, for this long? Right? Times 24 or 60. A lot of people go into trading, it's like, oh, I'm gonna make money, yada yada yada. This is how long you lose money for. Is this gonna affect how you or your family lives? This is a kind of an out there estimate, but it could be a lot worse than this. 2 years is like on the good end, right? For me, it took me about 2 years. Last year was when I started making money. I made my 100K in my second year. So this would be my third year. Although technically last year was the first year I started taking it seriously. Yeah. But even then, you'll see how I act, right? I don't think I've made it yet. I don't know when I'll ever think I'll have made it. Everyone always asks me, like, are you going to do it full time, right? Are you gonna quit your job, blah blah blah? And I always tell them that I would only consider quitting if I can make anywhere between 300 to 450K net profit, either through prop firms or if I ever open up a premium or a mentorship. That's the only time I'll consider quitting my job. And you have people that haven't made as much as I have, and they're thinking about quitting, thinking about this, thinking about that. It's not a good idea. All it takes is for one weird market, like December, like February, like now, right? You made how much after a year? Last year was, I think, 88, and then I stopped taking payouts because when you start making a lot from prop firms, you have to do your taxes. So for December, I took like 1 or 2 payouts, and I skipped like another 12 or 20K of payouts. You have a coach and he's been green almost 2 months straight, doing live signals and live in Discord. What's your thoughts on just following his entry first couple thousand? Hey, if you want to do that, then go ahead. You know, I can't give financial advice, but if you think that's something that you can do, then yeah, for sure. Now just be careful about all these Discord people. They want to just do signals and stuff like that, so just be careful. You skip because of taxes? Yeah. How'd you settle on an amount to stop at? I wanted to stop at 100K just because I think that's really good marketing. I'm selling myself as the product, like hey guys, I made 100K, blah blah blah. If I ever want to sell something, I'll need numbers to back me up. But I just stopped at 88K because I was really worried about taxes. I was actually very, very worried, because taxes for prop firms is a decent amount. Yeah, no, that's literally what I decided. It's like 6 figures. Everyone was like, oh wow, you made 6 figures on blah blah blah. $65 for losing 50K is really cheap. Yes. Very small, super legit, and honestly a blessing. Yeah, then definitely go for it. Yeah. And, you know, the IRS always wants their check. And it's like I literally had to hire a CPA because it's like a giant pain in the ass, because technically you're like your own business, blah blah blah, this and that. So I had to get like a tax plan, like what can I write off. And for my CPA, I don't know about you guys, but for my CPA, they were like, oh, you can write off accounts, evaluations, resets. You can, there was a whole bunch of other stuff, like part of your rent, your internet, phone, blah blah blah, whatever is vital for your business, basically. Do you think your DCA strategy with the pullback and continuation method works well during New York? I actually tested for New York, and it's actually very horrible for New York. Davi, I don't do it for New York at all. If I do it for New York, I think I was testing like your stops with your DCA, your every other entry. So when I DCA for overnight, it's about 15 to 20 points, where I add the second account, right? And where I add another entry. For New York, it has to be like, it can be anywhere from 40 to 80 is where your new account is, especially on days with a really high VIX, like the past 2 or 3 months. The past 2 or 3 months has been like a really weird market, really weird big candles, right? That's why you don't sweat accounts, because you write them off. Yeah, it's actually better for me to buy a bunch, because the more that I buy, the lower my tax is, right? But each account has the potential to make more, right? All that matters is being profitable for the year. Yeah, exactly. And that's what a lot of people do. I'll tell you guys a secret. That's what they do. A lot of people, you know, all those influencers, they can write off their accounts. So if they're anywhere, if they're doing near my level or anywhere better than me, they can buy a lot of accounts, which is better for them tax wise. And the bigger the numbers they show you guys, the more likely you are to buy their stuff. I was thinking about doing that too, to be honest, but the 10 micro starting was just way too stressful. I could see myself getting worse and getting tilted a lot easier. It's not for the faint of heart. Like right now, this year, I can probably buy another, what, 80k of accounts. And what are the odds that within one of those 80k accounts, I just make like one account go up to like 30k? And I'll show you guys, hey guys, I made 30k on this one account by just full porting every single day. And eventually I'll hit 5 full ports right in a row. I can show you guys a big payout and then sell you guys whatever. But that's what they do. And it's smart. It's very smart. That's why I thought about doing it. That makes sense to say. I see doing DCA during New York is hard and like a lot of drawdown. Davi, have you seen, there's this one guy, David, he's seen me take 200 to 300 points of drawdown during a New York session before it ended up going green for a couple of them. But I've taken 200 to 300 points of drawdown before. And that's impossible for one mini. It's smart, but also leads to hell. Fooling people? Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do it. Well, I wouldn't be fooling you guys because you guys would see all my blown up accounts. Because I show you guys, right? No one else shows this. But you guys will know. I did want to do a challenge where 1 month, like, you'll see my blown up accounts. You'll see all of it. I don't hide the number. I don't hide the balance. I don't hide anything. I wanted to do a challenge for 1 month where I trade like an influencer, where I just full port every single account and try to get a huge number. But it's too stressful. I don't like it. So I'm going to stick to the 5 micro stuff. Maybe I'll try to learn to be a better trader. Who knows? Probably not. But yeah, fooling people is bad, but you know, everybody is like, you know, money blinds people. So I'm also in the same boat. All I'm thinking about is just money, money, money. How do I make this? You know, I'm sitting on a gold mine. You know, I can. You guys will always see me take payouts, right? I'll always take payouts, and I'm always thinking, okay, how do I monetize this? How do I do this? Blah 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 blah. and then it just stresses me out because it's like I start thinking too short term. I need to make money. I need this. I need that. So it's pretty bad. How much do you get in tax returns? Tax refunds? I wouldn't be getting any refunds because let's say you make net, right, 100K. 30-ish, 35-ish% of that is taxes, which means even though your bank account will say 100K, when tax season comes, you need to pay about 35K. So there is no tax refund for you unless, I don't even know, you do a bunch of like donations, tax evasion, blah blah blah, whatever. I don't know how they do it. I don't think if I continue doing this business, if I continue doing prop firms, I will get no refunds at all coming up because I'll be paying so much money to the IRS. With the ability to make money, no need to monetize. Yeah, but that's the thing, Sep. That's why everybody wants to monetize their stuff. Trading is stressful. No one wants to. Wouldn't you rather teach people how to trade if you have the knowledge and numbers to back it up and the proof to back it up, rather than trading all the time and being stressful and being stressed about it? I certainly would. But yeah, I recommend my DCA strat for Asia and London. Yeah. That entire scalping model was only back tested in Asia. I tried to do it with New York and it was I took way too much drawdown. It was almost impossible. Do you recommend having 5 pro accounts at TBT? Yeah, 5 is like the goal, Ace. Would you recommend to copy trade them to Tradeovate? I don't copy trade my accounts unless I have like 30 plus accounts. Then I copy trade them in groups. And I'll show you why, Ace. Going back to this previous day. Going back to today. What happens if I copy traded right here? This account. What happens if I copy traded this account? What happens if I copy traded this one? Or this one? Or this one? Or this one? Or this one? Right? What about this one? What if I copy traded this one? Or this one? Or this one? You'll see on all of my worst days, it's very rare for me to have all red days. I only copy trade like if I have a shit ton of accounts. Like right here, I was copy trading like 4 at a time. I only use the Tradeovate built-in copy trader. But like, this is why I don't copy trade. I'm here to take payouts, not to build up these accounts to like infinity. Build or blow them up, you know. That's what happens if you copy trade. You'll blow them up so easily. Right? You'll see on my worst days, I'll still have green on my charts. Now, what does that mean? Or green on my P&L? What does that mean? That means even though I took a big hit, this day I took minus 46K in fake money. Right? 226. Wait, but 226, I took 14K in real money. Isn't that weird? I'm not a good trader because you can see my minus 46K, but I turned that into real money. Right? That's what's so good about prop firms. You don't have to be a great trader. I'm not a great trader. I'm an average trader, right? But you'll see. Now, is it a good or bad thing? For my trading journey, it's a bad thing. For making money, it's a good thing, right? Because I know how to make money with prop firms, even if I'm not the best trader. And just stick around for the journey, you know, see how much I make this year. You guys will see, no matter how much, no matter how bad of days that I do, you'll see, wow, he's constantly taking payouts. But yeah, it's because I know how to trade prop firms. I agree. When I was backtesting, it was way too much drawdown. Do you only trade NQ, or is your strat also good on like gold Asia? I've never traded gold in my life. I basically only trade NQ. I did take a copper trade once because one of my viewers was like, dude, look at copper, and I was like, oh, that looks okay. And then I took I bought, and then so copper, I have a 100% win rate. Let's go. But I'm not a gold trader. Is it not considered hedging if you try on different ones? I'm scared of this. Basically all firms can't. Hedging is not allowed. It's bannable, yes. But it's not hedging if you just buy. Right? I'll give you an example. This is a big sell-off, right? You can see this is a big sell-off. What if you buy? What if you buy right here? What if you buy right here? What if you buy right here? Let's say you have 6 accounts. What if you buy right here? What if you buy right here? Right? Okay, this account, maybe you took profit. Let's say you didn't and this account died down here. Okay, this account's dead. This account, maybe you took profit here. Maybe it's dead down here. Okay, it's dead. This account, okay, dead. This account, how much is that? 100 points. Maybe this account is still alive. And this account, or this bundle of accounts, whatever, right? Green, green. So these two individual grouped accounts are closer to a payout. And the way that prop firms works is that each account is so cheap that if even 1 or 2 of your accounts or 2 of your groups makes a payout, it pays for all of this plus more. And these accounts don't blow up. You can take another payout with these accounts. Right? So in that entire scenario, this is a pretty bad sell-off, you could say. What, 24899, about 400 points of sell-off, right? Is Apex better after their all new account updates? No, they're not. Like, they're okay, but the biggest problem with Apex was their MAE rule, which is what, 30% of your account balance? It's actually worse, right? Because now you have a daily loss limit of $1,000, right? Always flat daily loss limit. Actually, I think it goes up to like 2K after you're scaling. I think after you make like 6K in drawdown, you get a 2K drawdown, which is about 1/3, which is basically their MAE rule still, right? But what a lot of people did back in the day is they basically full ported their accounts to get a huge buffer. And when I say huge buffer, I mean like 30K of drawdown, because the accounts are so cheap, just keep full porting them. Now a 30K drawdown, if the MAE rule still exists, right? Your MAE is 10K before you raise a flag. But now the max you can get, now this is assuming 50K account. So long story short, it's not that much better. If anything, it's like it's like Top Step and Lucid are still better. Let's say you buy, goes opposite, and then you sell another account. That's hedging, and if you're caught hedging, you will be banned. MAE rule. MAE is like, it's like a MAE rule is like a daily max loss rule. Which means on one trade, you cannot, let me just say, you can't lose 30% of your account in that one trade. So, and this raises a flag which pushes your payout day even further. So let's say your MAE, let's say you start, now I always use a 50K account for my example, so I'm going to use it again, okay? 2,500 is your drawdown, which means that if one trade, right, you lose 750 plus, right, you lose greater than 750, you will violate this MAE rule, right? And what will happen to your account is that it takes 8 days to get a payout. Let's say you're on the last day, so you have one more day to pay out. If you break this MAE rule, you go back to 8 days. A lot of smoke and mirrors. There's always smoke and mirrors. There's prop firms don't release stuff that are better for you ever. Ever. The best times to be a prop firm, the best deals and accounts are always at the beginning of a firm. Look at Funded Next. Look at Lucid. All their accounts were the best at the beginning, or like a year ago, a couple months ago, right? That was when they had the best of the best accounts. And then, because what they do is, it's called a loss leader. Have you guys heard of a loss leader? Have you guys been to Costco? Right? What's the loss leader for Costco? If you guys know. A loss leader is something that a business will take negative ROI just to get customers. Chickens, exactly. Yeah. And once you're in Costco, do you only buy one rotisserie chicken? If you did, then like congratulations, you're making, you know, some money, right? It's very cheap. But when you go to Costco, do you spend $5 on a chicken and then you leave? No one does. You go in, you buy 4 things in bulk, and now you're spending, like, you buy 4 items, and now you're spending over $100 on 4 items, which is good because they're in bulk. But right, this chicken is $5, but because they got you into the door, you're spending this much. Now the loss leader are basically the really good accounts that the prop firms give you in the beginning. Funded Next had loss leaders. All their accounts were way too good. Okay, go to, if you look up all the payouts, right? If you go up, oh, I might have missed this short. This was the entry right here. But if you go to if you go to like, oh, what firms provided the biggest payouts in 2025 or 2026 or for this month and that month, you'll see Funded Next at the top. Is that good? No, it's not good. What does that mean? That means that the people that know how to beat prop firms like me, they figured out that the accounts were so good that they could take out a shit ton of money. And then what happens? Then the firm starts bleeding. And when the firm starts bleeding, they're okay with a certain amount of bleeding, assuming that they can get a bunch of customers in and have them spend more money. Once you're in with a firm, you're more likely to stay with them. So even though they'll add some stuff like a lower drawdown, or they'll increase their prices 2, 3, 4 times, you're so familiar with them that you're like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll stay, right? Yeah, we have worm on a hook, carrot on a stick, whatever you want to call it, loss leader. Yeah. So just be careful. And I don't know if you guys were on Twitter, but Jesus Christ, the amount of shilling on Twitter for Apex was insane. Every single influencer and random Twitter guy was like, oh, this is the new thing for Apex, it's gonna take over the market, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's not the new crazy thing. I might consider buying it, like maybe, just because I like to play with a lot of accounts. So I may consider buying Apex accounts, especially if they do their they might do bulk checkouts. I don't know if you guys ever tried to do, like, you know, buying 20 plus accounts, but buying 20 plus accounts on Apex is like a giant pain in the ass. Like, buying 20 accounts takes like, dude, it takes like 20 minutes of just constantly clicking and buying and clicking and buying and putting in your credit card and this and that. It's a huge pain in the butt. If they do bulk checkout, I would consider it. I mean, do I want to take a short here? I mean, I already missed my entry here. 57, 34. That was already the 20 points. I really don't want to. One more big handle up and then I'll short. It's already 824, so I might just call it soon. Not much action here. And this account, I really don't care about this account anymore. This account is on the 5th payout, which means if I take one more payout with this account, I might get bumped to live. So whoever has been watching me for a while, they know that I hate live programs. So I'm gonna trade this account heavy and try to get into live with the max amount of capital, which I believe is 50k. And what are the odds that I take 2k to 50k? Pretty low. Pretty low. Why do you not want to go to live accounts? Are there drawbacks? Live accounts are not good for anything besides, well, okay. It's not that they're not good for anything, but the way that I trade with many accounts. So if I go live with Top Step, instead of having 5 accounts of Top Step, I'm down to 1, which is very bad. Right? And I'll tell you why it's bad. And also because there's more strict rules. Although you do get the tax break, but the rules are not worth it. I'll tell you why. Let's say you have 5 accounts. They each have $2,000. Or, hold on. Yeah. They each have $2,000, right? These are all 50k accounts. Right? Now, let's say for account number 1, it died. Account number 2, it died. Account number 3, it died. And account number 4 and 5, you took a 2k payout. Right? Wait, you lost 6k here. You're not that good of a trader. You're negative. Right? Well, technically, you would have made plus 4k here. 4k, and then minus 6k. You would have been an okay trader. Let's add one more 6. Now, you made 4k on these 2 accounts because usually prop firms, they pay you half, right? So these accounts had 4k of buffer, now they're down to 2k. You took a 2k payout on these 2. You took about plus 3k. Let's just say you into your bank account is plus 3,200 bucks, which means that for every funded account, right, if you spend $400 per account, right, assuming it takes like what, 4 tries to pass one account, that's what, 4 times 6 is 2,400, right? Wait a second, you're a break-even trader. How are you making money? This is now in your bank account. This is also factoring in the 20% split, where I think Top Step is 10%, so this would be 3,600 actually. Wait a second. You're a break-even trader. Break-even to negative trader, especially if you blow up these accounts after. Right? Let's say you blow up these accounts. You're still in the positive now. Now, once you blow up these accounts, now you're a negative trader, which means you're not a good trader. But wait, how did you make money and you're not that good of a trader? Weird. Isn't that so strange? You're a negative or break-even trader, yet you put 1,200 bucks into your bank account. This is net profit. Yep. Yeah. If you're a really great trader, which I'm not a great trader. I tell this every single time. That's my whole marketing brand. I'm an average trader that's figured out how to beat prop firms. Yeah. Now, if you're a really good trader, maybe that live program is really good for you, but live programs are usually not good. There's too many rules. There's limit contracts. There's daily loss limit. You only have one account. A live account is only good for flexing on internet that you have a live account, and then funneling people into a course or mentorship because you got a live account. And if you get a live account, that's an accomplishment. Less than 1% of people get a live account. So it's like, hey, buy my stuff, listen to me, because I have a live account. I am in the 1%. Right? 1%, or who knows, maybe below 1%. That's the only good thing about live accounts. I actually got an email for a live account recently, but it was for a review and they ended up denying me for a live account. I was so happy. Do you explain how you rotate your prop accounts in your videos? I don't. I just don't really have the time to do that. If I ever do that, it would mostly be some kind of paid service. Just being honest. Oh, there's a short working out right there. But I always tell people, like, people have reached out to me for mentorships and stuff like that, but I literally tell them it's not worth it. I'm like, don't bother trying to ask me for mentorship. First of all, I don't have the time for it. I work a 9 to 5. I have a full-time job. I'm an engineer. That's my day job. And then I trade from like anywhere between like probably 10 plus hours per day. Right? So a mentorship would cost an insane amount of money. So much to the point that it's not even worth it. Right? And then I tell people, if I'm able to make this much money on firms, I am this transparent. And I'm telling you guys, don't even bother buying a mentorship for me. Like, what does that say about other mentors that probably don't show as much as I show? And I keep telling people, I told my other viewers, I was like, if you guys ever do want to stick around and like do a premium or look for a premium, I would consider selling it, but I'm probably not even going to do it until like maybe the end of the year, just because I don't have time. And most of the time, as long as there's not anything like specific to my strategy, like I'll tell you how to level up in the prop firm game. I'll tell you what I'm looking for, like what my position size is, what my entries are, right? And I was explaining, so I kind of missed this, but this was the second entry. Usually, like now, it's like I already missed these two. I kind of don't want to, like, do I want to go for another bounce up into a short? Not really. There were already two entries. What are the odds I get a third one? And what are the odds the third one doesn't break above? I have no idea. You bought your Lucid eval and connected it to TradingView. Why does my TradingView show? Luke, I'm not familiar with TradingView. I use Trade8. So this is my Lucid right here. So like I use Trade8. So unfortunately, I can't help you with TradingView issues. Just because like I don't know. How fucked am I with taxes? I pretty much break even by taking 6-figure payouts. Dang, 6 figures? That's nice. I have no idea. That's something you need to talk to a CPA for. You give them basically your Also an engineer. Trading outside work hours. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta talk to a CPA. I only expect those who live stream trades so we can see that you are what you say you are, not to say those who aren't legit, but too many frauds. That's the thing about the internet. Too many frauds. Like if I really wanted to just go full port into the selling stuff, I would hide my balances. I would hide the number of accounts that I bought, and I would only show you guys the big wins, the big trades. That's how a lot of people do it. I'm not the type of guy to do it. But no matter what you do, there's always going to be those people, like I call it selling shovels, right? If you guys are familiar with the gold rush, right? A lot of people go to California to dig up or dig gold. But the people that got rich from digging gold are very, very few. The real people that got rich are the people that sold shovels. So no matter what you do, there's always gonna be people selling shovels, even though they've never gotten this quote unquote gold, right? The gold in this case is being profitable, right? You can look at the anything. Like my friends are really big into the gym, and there's people selling peptides, right? That's a new big thing, peptides. If you go to like a skincare thing, people will be selling some bullshit on skincare. If you're looking for a remote job, someone will tell you, sell a course on how to get a remote job, right? All these people selling shovels. There'll be frauds no matter what you do on the internet, just because there's too many people trying to escape the rat race, right? If I could trick even 10% of you on my Discord, how much is that? 30 people to buy a $4,000 course from me? Like how much is that? Like what? 4,000 times 30. That's $120,000 I didn't have. And I actually have the stats to back it up. So instead of being a furu selling it, I would actually have the stats to back it up. Right? So that's why there's always people doing it. Trading is stressful. Working a job is stressful, right? Life is just stressful. Wouldn't you rather just be a grifter, right? Be a fake guru, sell something. But Coco, I would talk to your CPA. I paid my CPA, so I paid for something called a tax plan. And apparently I had a cousin who was a CPA, and she was like, why did you pay so much for a tax plan? I paid about $7,000 for mine. $7,500. It's like I basically told them everything I did, and they gave me everything I could write off. So portion of my rent, make an LLC, accounts, evals, internet, phone, equipment, all that stuff. But it's all like specialized for me, so it may be different. You remember the Gold Rush equipment sellers? I don't think I was alive for that. I'm sure there'll be a new gold thing coming up soon. Just kind of how society kind of works. There's a sell-off. Where do I want to buy? Are we at 900 already? We are at 900. Ah, shit. I'm not gonna buy it just because like NQ just seems weaker. You can see this lower low versus this lower low, and it's just not worth it to buy. Can you show me your lucid layout, please? I bought Tradeovate. Once you log into Tradeovate, like there'll be a default format for you. Like, do you mean this Tradeovate format? This is my format that I use. History? Ah. But yeah, even before the gold rush, I'm sure there was something else you could relate to. That's like very similar to how gurus sell their courses, this and that. Like snake oil, right? It's literally a metaphor. It's a saying like, oh, you're buying snake oil. You're buying something where a merchant just tries to sell you something. It's like, oh, this cures blah, blah, blah. And then you buy it and it does nothing. I'm gonna let tonight play out. If anything, I'll trade evals, but I'm not interested in touching my funded accounts. If we dip, let's see. If we dip to the previous day low of NQ, I'll look for that. If we dip to what's the previous day low of NQ? Like 880? What is that? Yeah, 880, 7880. No, 24780, 24700-ish, and 24600-ish, 24500-ish. I'll be buying all of those spots. Short entry, once again, I'm still looking for 25k. Other than that, we're in like this, this is an area where it's like, if you weren't in a position short, it's kind of already like, now you're chasing, especially if you're scalping. Now you're just chasing. All right, imagine you shorted down here. All right, you're already down, what, 15 points? It's just not worth it. Man, I usually don't stream this long. 38:41. Usually when I'm going to trade, I'll stream for longer, but that's it for today. No trades. I had two opportunities. This one, I mean, I don't think I would have taken it. Like I said on stream, this was a 3 micro, like small position. This was the actual 5 micro position here, but I think I was talking when this happened or showing something. So I missed that. Not the end of the world. But yeah, I think that's the end of my stream. I have an outro card right here. Boom. Oh no, wrong number. All right, guys. Well, I stream all the time during the overnight from like 7 p.m. That's where I get my, trend, and then for my scalps. So tomorrow I'll be streaming basically all overnights. So hope to see you guys there. Peace out, guys.